When night falls, keep your expectations high with Night Shot Digital Night Vision Rifle Scope. Made for the shooting enthusiasts who want to see in the dark at distances further than any night vision scope priced anywhere near the Night Shot. To adjust windage and elevation, remove the protective cap by rotating counterclockwise. The IR850NS is an easy-to-use, weatherproof accessory infrared illuminator custom designed for use with Night Owl Optics Night Shot Digital Night Vision Rifle Scope. Whether you're varmint hunting or predatory hunting, the IR850NS will enhance your night vision shooting experience.
Back to Affordable Optics and Rifle Reviews. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your infrared on your scope. So this is the final product. This is what it should look like. You do have to keep in mind a few key considerations when setting this all up, because you're going to be setting it up off of your rifle. It's just going to be a lot easier to set up, and you won't necessarily be able to get these Allen screws on if the scope is already in your rifle. So take that scope off of your rifle, take it out of its scope rings, and we're going to start setting it up. So this is what the final product should look like.
All right, so the first thing we're going to start with is the scope. We're going to leave it to its lowest magnification. We're going to set the parallax down to its lowest amount. If you have a parallax-free scope, that's great. Next, you're going to wrap it in tape. So this one does come with some tape. You don't need to put very much. It's just essentially so that your screws from your the ocular mounting system doesn't scratch it all up, and it gives it something to grip onto. That's what you're going to want. So I just put 2 layers, and that was sufficient. You're going to want to make sure that it does fit the scope. So if your eyepiece is too big, it may actually not fit. So these will be the dimensions on the screen. So next step is we're going to be setting up one of these onto the tube. Now this isn't a 30mm tube. This is a 1-inch tube. So we're going to be putting this on the optic. Now normally you'd be used to setting these up for your rifle, but you're going to be putting this one on upside down. You're going to see just why in just a moment. Now, while we're doing that, this system does take 18650 batteries. I recommend you get some pretty good quality ones, and then you make sure they're fully charged before even trying this out. You're going to need a total minimum of 3. And if you Okay, so I'm making sure it's upside down. You're going to want to note that this is how it's going to be going. I don't want to block my turret either, so I'm actually going to be putting this far more forward than I normally would, because I still have the scope mounts that I'm going to need to put on the scope to the rifle. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to probably put it just right about here. Now this doesn't need to be extremely tight. This isn't holding your scope to the rifle. It's just holding this camera system to the scope. Make sure this additionally is plugged in, or else, well, I mean, you won't have any video. Okay. Then we're just going to loosen this up, slip this in. We're going to tighten that up later with a screwdriver. All right, now this part is assembled. Now it's important to know your eye relief, because that's going to give you a ballpark idea of where exactly to mount this on your objective. Okay, so I am going to need to loosen these up a little bit, just so I can slip it on. Now there is a direction on how to put this on. And essentially you want the on-off to this camera. This essentially is a camera. You're gonna want this facing downwards, or else, I mean, when the final result, the picture is gonna be moving in the wrong directions. So, all right, so this is sort of where we want it. Now my battery is fully charged. We don't have to worry about the infrared just yet. This in itself is just a simple camera. So we're gonna turn it on and see if we are in the right place. My on switch is, oh, the on switch is right here. Okay, now the camera is on, and this should also be projecting whatever we see. All right, now if you want to know how to put the batteries in, you push this in with your nail, and your batteries are right there. All right, and that should be showing you fairly clearly. That's my wooden wall, and so in this case I'm going to snug these down a little bit at a time. Actually, I'm going to see if I can back it up a little bit, because I do want a bit bigger field of view. Okay. Okay, now I'm snugging it up, and you guys notice the reticle is moving a bit to the left. I'm going to do these all a little bit at the same time. All right, now the camera system is tight, so that's pretty good. Normally, I mean, this is the second time I install it, so I mean, maybe the camera is already set. So additionally, diopter adjustment on the scope, you should be setting that completely all the way in, not all the way out. So right now we have a camera that works. This is all good. The next step, all you have to do is set up the infrared. So right now this is good to go.